Well, there is a record whose author's name is Ozzy Osbourne, and that record, brand new, shiny record, is called Patient Number 9, and it is open for business now. Ozzy, are you here, my man?
How you doing, Klinger?
Spectacular, man. Thank you very much for your time, and thanks for decades of spectacular rock and roll music.
It's what I do, so I love doing it.
I want to flash back to 6th grade, waiting at the bus stop in Bellevue, Washington, just outside of Seattle. My 2 older brothers were there, listening to a band that I'd never heard of called Black Sabbath, and that was my entry point, Ozzy. Fast forward to 2022, and you're about to kick everybody's ass with Patient Number 9.
Yeah, it's Patient Number 9. It's good fun. It kept me going during this pandemic, you know.
Ozzy, how long has Patient Number 9 actually been done?
We spent like a couple of years on it, but it's been done about 6 months, 3 months now, 3 months.
Did you just decide to put the best guitarists all on one record, or what?
In actual fact, it was a bit early in the morning for me. It was Andrew Watt. It was Andrew Watt, the producer, who said, "Why don't you try?" Eric Clapton would do great on this track, and Jeff Beck. I said, "Are you insane? They're going to think I'm a lunatic. They probably don't want to know what to do." I was wrong. Tara Army give me some stuff. Eric Clapton, as I just said, and Jeff Beck, Zach Wilde. I mean, there's so many great players on the album, but I was never one to do these all-star albums, but Andrew kind of taught me into it, but it turned out really good.
You know, I'm a very appreciative person, so I just want to thank you, Ozzy Osbourne, for taking the time. I know you're busy. Patient Number 9, your brand new record is out, but I'm elated for this slice of time with you, so thank you, man.
Well, without you guys, I ain't got to, you guys spread the word more.
Well, I will tell you this. The very first time, several months ago, that I put my ears on Patient Number 9 from a record of the same name with Jeff Beck's guitar riffs just splattered all over it and your voice, oh my God. It really was like hearing from an old friend again.
Every morning I wake up with that guitar solo in my head. It's awesome. It's really catchy. And yeah, I was told that he can't write songs. He can play on people's songs, but he can't write for somebody. I can't find that weird. How can somebody play so great and not be able to write a song?
Well, it's Klinger from iHeartRadio, and I will tell you straight up, if you've put your ears on Ozzy Osbourne's brand new record, Patient Number 9, which is out now, you know 2022 has absolutely gotten an upgrade. My conversation with Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, continues. Ozzy, technically, Tony Iommi is not in your family, but you guys have known each other for so damn long, and he's never been on or contributed to any of your solo records, so why now? What happened for the clouds to part?
Since I've had my surgery and I've been recuperated from that, there's a Bill Ward's been on the phone to me. Tony Iommi's been contacting me regularly by text. Slash has been keeping me going. Jonathan from Korn has been, and he's really you'll be surprised what a text or a message will do. You know, I was pretty miserable for a few months, you know, and he lifted me up a little. And Tony, I've never had in all the years I've known him since I was 11, and in all the years I've known him, I've never had this close a relationship with him. In fact, I just went back to England and closed the Commonwealth Games with him. It was fun. I mean, we've both sort of been through the wars a bit, you know. And you know the funniest thing, that every member of Black Sabbath is still alive. We're all still alive.
Well, as I mentioned, Ozzy, I was introduced to Black Sabbath when I was in 6th grade. I love that band. I love the records. I'm also a massive fan. All the Ozzy records that have come after it.
Remember Ronnie replaced him. They should have called it Black Sabbath too. It wasn't. It's always when you change a singer with a band, it's always a major it's a different band. I mean, there's only a few bands I know that have done it without doing a change things. Like Fleetwood Mac did it, and that's about all I can remember it now.
It's my conversation with the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. It's Klinger. Ozzy, I got to ask you a super duper personal question, man. Are you going to get your ass on a tour bus that's pulling a trailer, probably loads of tractor trailers of rock and roll instruments, and get back out on tour in support of patient number 9?
Oh, that's what I'm heading for, because I'm hoping we can feel well enough to tour. I'm as soon as I finish this promotion, I'm down to getting some physical exercising and going all out to get myself back on my feet. It's just a bit stiff and it's awkward right now. I had surgery, two more surgeries. The first one where the guy screwed me up. I don't think I'll be 100% back to the way it was before, but I haven't got the confidence. I lose my balance, So I've got to get my confidence. This will do it. I mean, I overcome drug addiction and alcohol addiction and tobacco. And I'm sure I can give it a good, a good effort when you get going. I need it, I need to go back on the stage.
Hey, it's Klinger. I'm talking to Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy, I really appreciate you saying those words, because we all need a goal in life. And if your rehabilitation goal is to get back out on the stage, that is obtainable. I know you can do it.
What am I going to do? Sit on my ass all day, looking at the window, looking, going, it's not Ozzy Osbourne, man. I mean, it never will be. I mean, people say to me, when do you think you're going to retire? And I go, when I smell the lid of the pine box. I mean, you can't retire from this. It's a passion. It's how can you retire from having fun?
Ozzy, does it make sense when I tell you, and first let me just preface it by telling you that I'm not here to kiss anybody's ass. I take my job super serious, and the time spent with Ozzy Osbourne means a lot to me. It does to be able to bring this conversation to all of our iHeartRadio listeners around the country. Is it possible, when we listen to and indulge in patient number 9, that this could be the best record that Ozzy Osbourne's ever made? And I ask this question because I feel like when I hear your voice, I'm like, hell yes, Ozzy Osbourne is back.
Well, when I've never gone into a recording studio and gone, you know what, I had a great one. Let's make a bad record. Sometimes you works for the public. But I remember when I finally finished this album, and I turned around to Andrew and I says, you know what? I don't know much about much, but something special about this album. And he says, you know what? Because we went backwards and forwards. We had this mixer, that mixer. We went across the Atlantic more times than a fucking aeroplane. And he was like, at the end of the day, I'm going, is it because I want it to be good that it sounds good, or is it okay? Is it good? The feedback, when people give me feedback, I've never had such good reviews on any of the albums. It's just nice try, Ozzy, but I'm not used to having such good reviews on it. I will see. I mean, it'd be nice if it was a number 1 or something, but I got no complaints if it's not. I can't complain anyway. I'm 73, still making a good record. I'm still enjoying making records.
It's incredible to hear you say that, and I will tell you, we've been on the gas on active rock stations around the country on iHeartRadio with patient number 9 for a couple of months now, and the feedback has been spectacular. I remember the very first time I heard patient number 9, I felt like Ozzy Osbourne was personally punching me in the face with his voice.
Have you heard any more of the album yet?
I've not gone start to finish on the entire record yet.
Look out, bro.
Can I get Ozzy Osbourne to say that again?
Look out, bro.
Hell yes. Well, Ozzy Osbourne is back in a big way with a brand new record called Patient Number 9. It is open for business now. You can absolutely go buy it. It's like a record made up of guitar all-stars. My last name is Klinger. I work for iHeartRadio. And Ozzy, let's talk Eric Clapton.
Clapton's song is awesome.
How does Ozzy Osbourne pull something out of Eric Clapton to elevate his guitar playing?
It's not what he's doing. It's more a climb to what he was doing in a Cream song.
Oh my God! Talk about flashback guitar riffs.
He plays a wah-wah guitar, which is hadn't done in years, and people are saying they've never heard him sound so good in years.
I sort of said the same thing about Jeff Beck on Patient Number 9 when I first heard it. He's an incredible guitarist, but I feel like he's never sounded as good as he does on your record.
I mean, Jeff Beck, it's amazing. It's as if it was meant to happen, because it turns out that my business manager in London manages him also. And I said, how the f*** am I? And I was talking to, he said, well, what you mean? I said, what do you know about him? He said, well, I manage him. I go, you do? I said, ask him. He said, send me the tape. And he was both Eric Clapton and Jeff Beck and Tony Iommi and Zach. You know, everyone was so cool on this fucking project to work with them and helpful. And Jeff Beck was saying, if it's not right, send it back, and I want to make you happy. I'm like, you know.
It's a conversation with the Prince of Darkness. So, Ozzy, let me ask you this. Was there anybody on this record, and let's use Jeff Beck as an example. What if Ozzy's not happy with something he hears? Or, you know, you got a criticism for Andrew Watt. Did you ever have to push back?
When Jeff Beck sent me, I said, you could piss on the f***ing thing. I mean, there's some great stuff on his album. I mean, I'm at the end of it. I'm like somebody giving birth. It's so close to me, you know.
Ozzy, how many times do you listen to Patient Number 9?
About 8 million times. I'm getting less now, because every day I'd wake up and go, was yesterday okay, and today's going to hear the mistake. But I have to let go at one point. I go, well, I've given it everything that I can. If they like it, I have not just taken it for granted and gone blur, and that'll do. Andrew and I, with some blood, sweat and tears, as I do on every album. For what it's worth, I think it's as good as it's going to get.
Ozzy Osbourne is 73 years old and a new record out called Patient Number 9. The last, of course, was Ordinary Man. Ozzy, I always tell Klinger Show listeners that, you know, it's up to us to support the bands and the musicians that we like. So buy a concert ticket, buy a record. Hell, if you're at an Ozzy Osbourne show and you're standing in front of the merch stand, buy that plush velvety bat where its head pops off, you know?
Yeah, but it's kind of like, you know, it's not a job we do. It's like somebody paying me to have good ideas.
Ozzy, we've talked about the guitar slayers on Patient Number 9. Let's talk about the dude you shared the production studio with, Andrew Watt.
Andrew would get people in when I wasn't there. So I'm like, he's the producer, and he reminds me of a chimpanzee. He never sits still for more than 3 seconds. I think he's got severe ADHD, I think, and I have it too. So you can imagine what the two of us are like in the studio. We're like two chimpanzees at a fucking zoo.
Do you guys have fun in the studio, like during that process?
What's the point? What I've always said to people, it's not a scientific project. How can I tell you this track is supposed to be fun? You're supposed, you know, there's not a book of instructions. I like the groove or you don't. There was a point in this album when I thought, you know what, I think I overshot it. And Andrew would go, no, we ain't going to stop until we get it right. And he would push me on, and then I would push him, and then he would push me. I mean, you argue. It's just, you know, it's kind of like... It's kind of like a love-hate relationship. You love to hate. It's like any relationship. You start off talking, you get onto it, but then you don't agree with everything. If you have a strong enough point and they can't talk you down, your point wins. And Andrew's very, very clever. He's a young kid, and I enjoy working with him. It took us a while. It took me a while. Because I've been bullied a lot in the past by producers, and it's like there was a period of time when I used to argue with my Sharon. How can a man that's never heard my songs possibly know what's going on in my head? I used to be like a pregnant hen. Off, you know. Don't tell me what to. But then you give and you take. You can't have it all your way, and they can't have it all their way. It's just you come to a happy medium, or you don't, or whatever. The albums is the most important thing at the time. I say to these producers who I don't get on with, you're all right. You'll go to the next project, and my album will be a thing that you never want to talk about again. If I don't like something, because it's not, and I've said this to Sharon, if it sells more than Thriller, the fact is, it sold more than Thriller. But if I don't like something, I don't like it. I make records primarily for myself, if I don't like an album, I ain't going to like it tomorrow if I don't like it today.
I cannot wait to listen to Patient Number 9 time and time again, start to finish, and get to know it and get to love it.
I hope my fans and everybody like the album. It's kind of like a reinvention again,
My conversation with Ozzy Osbourne is happening right now, so you're in a real good place, especially if you love animals. I'm Klinger, and Ozzy, let's talk dogs. My wife and I have no kids. We've got 2 superstar rescue animals and an awesome cat. You're the Prince of Darkness. You were in Black Sabbath. You've laced your career with badass records for decades, and you love animals.
I tell you what, since this pandemic thing, if it wasn't for my dogs, I would have gone nuts. However, when somebody rings my front doorbell, it sounds like insane. 10 dogs barking and screaming at the door. I'm screaming, shut the up. The people who deliver stuff to the house must think, he's mad.
I just knew that there was no way I was going to have a 20, 25-minute conversation with Ozzy Osbourne and not talk about those dogs of yours.
My pet little dog now is a guy we call him Wesley. And somebody found him was walking the streets, and he was like all scared, and he'd lost a lot of weight. And I took him under my wing, and I built. Now he follows me. He's probably on the couch tonight. He's never very far away. He's great. Dogs are great. I can't understand why people don't like dogs. Somebody went. This is a true statement. A house without a dog is like a garden without flowers.
Ozzy, you have to say that one more time.
A house without a dog is like a garden without flowers.
I will be using that quote from the Prince of Darkness going forward every time I play a Patient Number 9 song around the iHeartRadio family.
Sure. It's so true, though, isn't it? A dog is like a garden without flowers. That's so true.
Ozzy Osbourne, this conversation, not only do I appreciate it, but it has been spectacular. Thank you for pulling the curtain back. I wish you nothing less than getting your health back to 100%.
If I've got one lip and my heart beats, I'll get my heart beating again. I can't wait to see everybody.
Ozzy, not only are you an incredible musician, but you're just a great human being, man. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Anytime, man. All right. Bye-bye.